The morning mist clung to the abandoned gas station like a shroud. Viktor and his crew had been scavenging the dead zone's edge for months, but they'd never ventured this close to the reactor. The Geiger counter's clicking was steady but not alarming, just background radiation, the kind that had become white noise in their lives. "There," whispered Alexei, pointing to a concrete bunker half buried behind the station. "Soviet era. Could be military supplies." Viktor nodded, adjusting his respirator. At 43, he was too old for this game, but the money was good. His daughter needed medicine, and the government pension wasn't enough. They pried open the rusted door with crowbars. Inside, dust motes danced in their flashlight beams, illuminating rows of metal containers. But these weren't military supplies. "What the hell?" muttered Sergei, the youngest of their group. The objects inside the containers defied description. They looked like crystalline growths, but they pulsed with an inner light. Some resembled flowers made of glass and shadow. Others were perfect spheres that seemed to contain tiny storms. "Artifacts," breathed Viktor. He'd heard rumors from other scavengers, objects changed by the disaster, possessing impossible properties. Alexei reached for a crystal formation that hummed with soft blue light. "Don't," Viktor started, but it was too late. The moment Alexei's fingers touched the artifact, his eyes widened. "I can see everything so clearly," he whispered. "The pain in my back, it's gone." Within days, word spread through the settlement. Alexei's chronic pain had vanished. His vision had sharpened to superhuman levels. Viktor's gambling luck had turned golden after touching a sphere-shaped artifact. Sergei's stutter disappeared completely. People came to them with desperate eyes and empty wallets. Maria, whose son had leukemia. Pavel, crippled in a mining accident. Anna, whose husband beat her but whom she couldn't leave. "It's a miracle," Maria wept as her son's cancer went into remission after touching the flower-like artifact. But Viktor had begun to notice changes. His reflection in the mirror seemed off, his eyes too bright, his smile too wide. And the hunger. God, the hunger for others to experience what he'd experienced. "We need to share this," he told his crew one night. "Everyone deserves to feel this good." Alexei nodded eagerly. His skin had taken on a subtle luminescence, and when he moved, shadows seemed to follow him. The clean ones don't understand. They're afraid of what they could become. The first person they blessed was Dr. Petrov, the town's only physician. He'd refused to believe their claims about the artifact's healing properties, called them radiation-addled fools. They cornered him in his clinic after hours. Viktor held him down while Alexei pressed the blue crystal against his forehead. "Stop fighting," Viktor whispered, his voice harmonizing with itself in impossible ways. "You'll understand soon." Dr. Petrov's screams echoed through the empty building as the artifact's light seeped into his skull. When it was over, he stood up slowly, his eyes now containing the same inner glow as theirs. "I see now," he said, his voice layered with new harmonics. "We must help them all." The transformed began working systematically through the settlement. They were stronger now, faster, and they could sense the clean ones from miles away. Their touch could force the change, passing on their blessing whether the recipient wanted it or not. Those who resisted were hunted through the narrow streets. The artifacts had given them abilities beyond human norm. Viktor could phase through walls, Alexei could see through solid matter, Sergei could speak directly into people's minds. Elena had been Dr. Petrov's nurse. She'd watched him transform and managed to escape through a window. Now she led a small group of survivors hiding in the old church basement. "They're not human anymore," she whispered to the others. "Whatever those things did to them, there's something else now." Above them, they could hear the Blessed Ones calling out in their multi-layered voices, "Come out, friends. We only want to help you. Don't you want to feel no pain? Don't you want to be perfect?" Young Tommy, barely 16, peeked through a crack in the basement wall. "They're glowing," he whispered. "All of them. And they're smiling." Elena had seen that smile on Dr. Petrov's face before he tried to bless her. It was too wide, too knowing, too hungry. "We need to get to the military checkpoint," she decided. "Warn them before this spreads." But when they emerged from the church that night, they found the Blessed Ones waiting. All of them, standing in perfect formation, their artifact-enhanced bodies radiating soft light in the darkness. "Elena," called Dr. Petrov, his voice echoing strangely. "You're scared. We understand. But fear is just another form of pain, and we can take that away." Viktor stepped forward, his form flickering between solid and translucent. "We were friends once. We can be friends again. Better friends. Forever friends." The military checkpoint fell within hours. The Blessed Ones had become something beyond human understanding, a collective consciousness linked by the artifact's power. They could share thoughts, coordinate perfectly, and their touch could transform anyone instantly. But the artifacts demanded a price. The Blessed Ones needed to feed on human contact, on the act of transformation itself. Each new conversion sustained them, but also changed them further from what they'd once been. As dawn broke over the settlement, only the Blessed Ones remained. They stood in the town square, their forms now barely human, elongated limbs, faces that shifted between expressions, eyes that held the light of dying stars. "We did it," Viktor said, his voice now a chorus of harmonics. "No more pain. No more death. No more loneliness." They turned their faces toward the distant city, where millions of clean ones lived in ignorance of the blessing that awaited them. The artifacts pulsed with satisfaction, their alien hunger finally understanding human desire. They had found the perfect vectors for their spread, beings who genuinely believed they were helping, even as they consumed everything human about themselves and others. In the distance, air raid sirens began to wail. But the Blessed Ones only smiled their too wide smiles and began to walk toward the sound, their artifact-enhanced bodies already adapting to resist whatever weapons might come. After all, they only wanted to help.